Hello, everybody. Good evening. Once again, it's great seeing everybody. Uh, it's great being here. Has it been since the last class? Has the take home been? I hope we've started like designing. If you are yet to design, I hope we've started working on our take home. So let me know, how have you been? Thank you very much. How have you been? I hope you've been good. Yeah, good to have you again. So that because of our time, because we have quite a number of things to talk about today around what we're talking about. I just want like to do like a recap of what we learned from last class before we actually move into today's class, because today's class is very interesting. It's like a career path on its own. Let me say that word. So let's quickly in few yeah 1 minute, let's like drop what we learned from last class. Yeah, same here. Anyways, I'm not Miss. I'm married. So I've seen someone address me as Miss. Maybe MS would I you can use MS to address both married and single. Anyways. Okay, good evening once again, and nice to see everybody. So I want you to quickly drop like what you learned in like 1 minute. Let's quickly do that. Let's quickly drop that. Your learnings from or key learnings from last class. Can we do that like quickly? We have a lot to cover. Really. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I'm waiting for our key learnings from last class. So I'm waiting on it. Waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Okay, someone says they learned low, mid, and high fidelity wireframing and their use cases. Thank you very much, Richard. Someone says a lot. Can you just like give me like the key learnings? Oh my god, Elizabeth, please. Okay, and types. Okay, while we keep dropping what you learn, so let's just go straight to this class. It's going to be like I'm looking forward to like an interesting class, right? As usual, we'll have like our icebreaker and some other things, our class activities and all that, so that we fully have understanding of what we're talking about, right? So, introduction to UX writing, that's our topic for today, and it's around UX writing basics, writing for clarity and usability. So our lesson objective number one, that at the end of this class, you should be able to define UX writing and its role in product design. You should be able to differentiate between good and poor UX writing. You should be able to apply key principles of writing for clarity and usability. You should be able to write basic UX copies for buttons, for forms, for error messages, and also empty states. Today's topic will be around understanding UX writing versus copywriters, so that you will not be confused. UX writers versus copywriters, writing for clarity and usability, voice chats. We'll do like a case study. We'll do talk about tools for practicing UX writing. So we're not just talking, but also how you can tools that you can use to practice UX writing. Then also some recommended resources and public groups you can join. I currently like belong to UX Africa. It's owned by Nigerians, anyways. So I think Dami and I can't remember other name. The other person, they are two founders, so you can also like be part of it. But we'll talk about that towards the end of the class. Then, as usual, our class quiz, then take home. All right, so let's quickly do like an icebreaker. So what did that app just say? That's the title of my icebreaker. So I want you to like think of a time where you saw something weird, something confusing, or something unhelpful, or you're wondering like, okay, what does this mean? Probably you went on a website or probably a mobile app and you saw like a write-up and you are confused, or it looks weird that, oh, I don't get this, what does this mean? Or you don't even know what to do. Probably maybe you are trying to make payment and something happened. You are not even seeing any helpful tips or messages on how to go about it. So it could be an error message, it could be the button text or that, or CTA, like I said, call to action, or probably a pop-up that you saw. Then if you know a particular write-up that you have seen that you feel that it's weird, it's confusing, or probably not helpful, you could drop it on the chat. Then while you're dropping it on the chat, you need to, like, in your own words, I know that we've not taught you like UX writing, but I just want you to see what's like the better way that copy or that message should have been better. So you're rewriting it, so rewrite it to be more clearer and more friendly. I'm going to teach you how to actually write better copies, but I just want you to like try. So someone says accept cookies. So what do you think like is the best way to say accept cookies? Okay, I just have 1 minute for this. Accept biscuit care. Oh my god. Oh my god. Accept cookies actually means something anyways. But maybe I feel like what's the person that dropped this message? What Collins is trying to say is that it could be clearer of what accept cookies mean. So basically, accept cookies trying to tell you that it's asking for permission to actually store some text files on your device, like your computer or your phone, to remember information about you. So I understand that part. I feel like it could be written much more better. But accept cookies like a generic this thing, but I feel like there's like sometimes int in some like write-ups that you see, there's like int on what it's all about, right? Okay, only Richard says only error on sign up. Validation instead of username, or I love that. Yes, Richard, yes, you're right. There are some sign up page that when you type probably something that is wrong, instead of it to tell you, okay, this email already exists, or probably give you a proper error message, you just say error, and you're now wondering, okay, what is actually the error? That's not clear. And thank you, Richard, for giving us like a solution. All right, I think that's all. So thank you very much for those that attempted the icebreaker. Okay. Now, the topic of today is UX writing. I know some people be wondering, or some people have the idea of what is now copywriting and all that. Don't worry, I'm going to break down everything. We're going to talk about everything so that you're not confused and you know. And interestingly, UX writer is actually a career path. So there are actually some people that are UX writers, and companies all over the world are hiring UX writers. Copywriters is different from UX. We'll get to that point, but they're actually, so you can see that we're actually training you to work as to either work as a generalist, that is a product designer, or a specialist. So you can decide to be a UX writer, a UI designer, a UX designer. Like, there are different career paths or specialization in product design itself. So you can see that product design is really interesting, right? So what is UX writing? UX writing is the process of creating the words in user experience. The titles or the header text on your landing page or your mobile app, the buttons, the call to actions, the labels, probably instructions, descriptions of a platform, or probably a description of the header text, or to talk more about what the product does, notifications, the warnings, the control that people see. So basically, those copies or write-up that you see on um, certain place or strategic places on the mobile app, on our mobile app or web, is actually done by a UX writer. Now, don't get me wrong, some companies, they don't have UX writer. They have like some companies have like a branding team that that work on the write-ups or the copies. Why some companies, the product designer will be the UX writer, will be everything that he or she can be to make sure that the product moves from the ideation stage to the launch. So it all depends on the company that you're working with. And also for maybe if you have side gigs or freelancing, sometimes you have to step in to as a generalist. You have to like do the actual work from creating copies. If you are, will I say lucky enough, you can actually get maybe the digital marketer or somebody, but the best person to actually write a copy for a website or a mobile app is a UX writer, right? It is the setup information, the first run experience, how to content that gives people confidence to take the next step. So don't forget that first impression lasts long, or first impression matters. What is that thing? Like when people or users get to your website, what do they get to see first that will intrigue them and want to know more about your product or your website or your mobile app? So very few organizations plan their content throughout the product development cycle. That is from the brainstorming to the defined state. That's the design, the test, and launch. So without the marketing content that attracts and converts people, the organization will fail. If your website doesn't like attract people, or people want to see, okay, what's this person saying? Don't worry, I'm going to show you like some interesting website. I feel like they caught my attention, or I feel like when users see, they want to like, okay, read more or know, like they already like have clarity of what the app is all about or the website is all about, and just like that. I'm just going to show few screens, and you can also like when we get to that part, you suggest screens as well. So without content for onboarding, so imagine that you downloaded probably a mobile app on Google Store or Apple Store. Then after downloading, it just takes you to the splash screen and just show you the logo. Let's say the logo is DSA, all right, and it now shows you onboarding. It doesn't tell you, okay, what's like maybe you don't even have an idea of what the app is, or probably you just stumbled on it on App Store, Google Store, so you don't have the idea. You just wanted to see, maybe something attracted you and wanted to download. After downloading, you don't get to see anything about it, and you're wondering, there's no content. You just, maybe there's picture, or maybe there's no even picture, or just wrote onboarding 1, onboarding 2, onboarding 3, or there's nothing like engaging or supporting the experience, right? So without content for onboarding, engaging, and supporting the experience, will fail to engage and transform people into users. You know, there's a state of people actually going to the app. So users are now the people that actually use the app itself or website, right? So UX writing is how we create that content, experience through content. How you are able to tell that, oh, this is a sign up, okay, then give them some tips on how to get started, or a summary of what this product is all about, right? So writing begins where all designs and development starts. You shouldn't wait. If you're a UX writer, you shouldn't wait till the development. You should be involved in the process, especially for UX writing. And for people that are going to be generalists, or the product designers or UI UX designers that will be creating copies for the website and all that, your writing shouldn't start from where design. It should start from the ideation stage, when we've conceived the idea, we've started our research and all that. So the writer needs to identify the purpose, the opportunities, and the constraints for the experience. The writer has to like identify the goals of the person who will use the experience, as well as the goal of the organization. So just like as product designers, that you are building to make sure that it meets users' needs and also meets the goal of business goals. So you as a UX writer, right, has to identify the goal of the users, those that will use the experience or use the product, and as well understand the goals of the organization. What problem is the organization trying to solve? You need to know that. That's why it has to be from the beginning stage, ideation stage, to the launch stage. All right. So the writer also needs to collaborate with the product owner, with the product managers, now with the product designer, right? The marketers, the researchers, UX researchers, the developers, the users, etc. From the beginning of the brainstorming or the strategy or the ideation stage to development or the launching. You also need, you as a UX writer or a product designer who will be writing micro copies or copies, you need to know the business constraints. You need to know the language of the users. You cannot write a micro copy for, maybe you have to write a micro copy for a fintech, for instance. Then you're writing it like you're writing for LTech or EduTech. So you need to understand the language of the users. Who are the users? Who are our target audience? What devices are they using? What's the context in which they want to use the product? I hope you are getting me, right? Now, examples of UX writing. For instance, the button text. You will see button text like says, continue, submit, try again. Error messages like password is too short. For instance, onboarding prompt, form field placeholders, enter your email or enter your first name or enter your last name based on the requirements when you are signing up or creating an account, right? You also see empty states, like they can say no notification yet, no field yet, no user added yet, like different notifications depending on the product you are building, right? All right. Now, I don't know if you have seen Child Deck. One of the things that intrigued me about Child Deck was when I got there, I saw like different languages. I saw Yoruba, I saw Igbo. I think there are other languages. There's Pidgin. So it's like marketing to different people. So you can see there this and tells you, oh, you don't chop, oh yeah, or download on Google Play or download on App Store. So it tells you that. So you already know that you don't chop. Sorry, you don't chow. That's like Pidgin, right? Tells you, okay, download. Then if you go further, you will see more details about it. But there's something intriguing that is catchy here. You don't chop, right? Can you see different one? Have you eaten? The first, have you eaten? Shoti Jeon. Like there were Igbo, there was Hausa, different languages. So imagine that a Yoruba person, someone that doesn't understand how to read English, let's say for instance, comes on this and says, Shoti Jeon. Like it feels inclusive. Like it feels like he loves that they included him. Like there's this inclusive design in the whole thing. So they understand that they are different people. They are not just talking to people that are graduate or people that can understand English or that understand how to speak or read English. No, but different people, different tribes. All right. Now, if you see my another one, this is like a sign up. It tells you first name and last name. It tells you email address. Now, there's a part where I intentionally did this. So there was a part where I wrote a wrong create and password, and it told me what I need to do. It told me that my password must be at least 8 characters, and it did not stop there. It explained what 8 characters is, so that when I'm typing again, I'll not be wondering what is 8 characters. Because you can see how clear all these are. All right. There's another one. There's another like intriguing or interesting copy, micro copy. Put your money to work. So you know that this is about investment. That okay, bring your money. Then it also tells you your email. That is where you have to put your email. Then if you click on it, tells you start investing. So it tells you that when you enter your email and you click on start investing, you started the investment process and all that. Like interesting copies, right? Yeah, Kuda too. So this is Reliance Health. Take better care of your parents. You know, that this platform is talking about, if you want to buy healthcare for your health insurance for your parents, you can just come here and purchase plan. All right. Another one is carry wise. Get a little richer each day. One step today, a giant leap for tomorrow. They're giving you like a brief, interesting. This like, imagine I come online. I'm trying to get a platform to invest in, like start my investment journey and all that. Then I see carry wise, and carry wise is telling me get a little richer each day. Oh, like, oh wow, interesting. I want to know more about this. All right. And it tells you, okay, what you need to do, like the step to step. It gives you, you need to build your savings, you need to invest deliberately and stay rich. So that process. All right. So another one is this piggy bank. So there's the part where you can look at this copy. It says first name and last name. Then it gives you like an int, e.g. John. It gives you like an int, right? It tells you like an int. That's another work of UX writer. So writing for UX, just like designing and coding for UX, is a design and engineering process. It is an iterative process of creation, measurement, and iterations. There's always room for iterations to make your copy better depending on how you're improving your product. There's also room. It's not static. If you know Piggyverse before, I've been using Piggyverse far back as, I think 2017? 2017, thereabouts. And I have noticed how they've updated their microcopies. They've updated it from what it used to be. They were using something generic now, but now they understand that, this is our target audience. We want people to understand. We want to attract people to want to use our platform or our product, right? So the UX writer might conduct foundational exploratory research about the context for the organization and also the person that will use the experience. Very, very important. All right. UX writing is iterative. There's room for improvement. It's starting with less than perfect words. You can, at first, you might not get the perfect word, but as you go, as the product is launched, people start using the product, you can always go back and say, okay, how can I improve this? Or maybe through feedback, how can I improve this copy? Or maybe you get feedback like, I don't understand how this works. What's like the next step? From that, you can improve. There's room for iterations. Then you replace those words with slightly better words and repeating until you find the best words. So this way, to make the text purposeful and protective, but also concise. Now, the UX text depends on the decision made in the voice chat you create. There's like a voice chat that we're going to talk about in the course of this class, so that you understand how. Right? So you need to understand the voice and the tone of the brand you are working with. You need to understand what's the business goal, what's the voice, what are they trying to say, what product are they trying to sell. Are they trying to be playful? Do they want their words to be playful? We're going to get to the voice chat because there are 3 principles in the voice chat on how you can write your copies. All right. So I saw somebody that wrote about, isn't this the work of a copywriter? Right. So let's do UX writers versus copywriters so that you understand who a UX person is and who a copywriter is, basically. So UX writers are the people who write the words you see in your apps, your website, your digital products, like your button text, your error messages, the instructions, the confirmations. Their main job is to help users what to do clearly. So the main goal is for them to know what's the action point, what are they to do, and how can they do them clearly without being confused. You're not going to the app and you're seeing something. Maybe, for instance, somebody used an example of error, right? And the person is now wondering, error on what? Okay, what is the problem? Like the person does not get clarity or clear message on either what the problem is or what the person needs to do. So your main job as a UX writer is to help users understand what to do clearly, not just clearly, but also easily. so they don't get confused when using the product. There are many products today that when you get on it or when you're trying to use, you're now confused. Like, okay, what do I need to do there? But a good UX writer or a good UX writing will show you clearly. It will be clear to you and you understand it. All right. So think of them as the voice of the products. Think of a UX writer as the voice of the product, making sure every word help the users get things done without stress. They take up that stress instead of you thinking, the user thinking, oh, what does this mean? What do I need to do? Okay, how can I solve this problem? What they take that part away, that stress away from users' life, and also from product designers that don't want to write microcopies. All right. Now let's go to the copywriters. I hope you are following me, right? So copywriters are writers who create marketing or promotional content. You can see that they differ. Now, a UX writer is writing words that you see in an app, that you see on website, digital product, like your buttons, your error message instructions on your digital product. But a copywriter now in this context is also a writer, but he writes marketing content or promotional content. So for instance, let me say I'm a UX writer and Oluwajemiloju is a copywriter and want to build a product, right? Now, if my product is, for instance, let's say DSA Finance Hub, right? I've written the UX copy. Now, if you want to advertise that, okay, we currently launched a product, DSA Finance app, Oluwajemiloju would now write content, either write content for the design team, that is the graphic designer, to design on, then post it online. It could be ads or things to make sure that what we are selling actually is reachable to people, different target audience or our main target audience, right? So their job is to sell, convince, or get people interested in a product. The way they will write the product, people will be very interested from the ad, and they are coming from the ad. When they see, oh, maybe there's an advertisement. For instance, when we saw DSA, when we saw DSA flyers to start the bootcamp, right? It was a copywriter that actually wrote those things for the graphic design team to work on. Then they post, social media people or whoever is in charge of posted it. So it's not a UX writer, right? The landing page, a UX writer, yes. But the professional, I say professional, oh my God, promotional content is the copywriters. And like I said on my slide, that their job is to sell, to convince, and get people interested in the product that me as a product designer or as a UX writer or UI designer or as an organization has produced or has launched. So you find their writings in ads, like I said, even in some landing pages, social media, or email campaigns. I don't know if when you get emails that, oh, for instance, CarryWise, when they send their newsletter or their email campaigns, it's a copywriter that wrote it. It's not a UX writer. Or probably social media post, it's a copywriter. So just think of them as the friendly hype team, helping people see why they should buy or try something. But for UX writer, they are the voice of the product, making sure every word helps the user get things done without stress. All right? While the copywriters, you think of them as the friendly hype team. UX writer, voice of the product, right? Or the team. Copywriters are the hype people that this thing must sell. We must sell this thing. This thing has to sell. People need to know about this product. While UX writer is giving you the tone of the landing page or the website to tell you, oh, what's the website on the website on landing page, or okay, start investing, or whatever thing, call to action, or the buttons to make everything clearer. I hope you are following me. Landing pages, yeah, your website, like your first page on the website or your own page or whatever landing page tells you about the website, while the hero section is a part of your landing page. I hope you got that. So I'll be taking questions after. So hopefully let's run because we have like a lot. So example, let's say we are building, let's say DSA product designers, we are building a food delivery app, right? So for the UX writer, the UX writer will write the buttons that says place an order. If you remember the landing page I showed you for CarryWise, there was a button that says start investing. That's like the work of the UX writer. Or for instance, if you place your order on, maybe you use Child Deck or Global app or what other Jumia, I don't think there's Jumia food anymore, or whatever app you use, there's the place order, the button that says place order, or your message, the message that says your order is on the way. All right. Now the copywriter will write the ad that says hungry, get your food delivered in 20 minutes. Then you now see the design on like hungry. Then maybe on an Instagram app you get to see a flyer. Then from there it now takes you to the website. I hope we're following and we understand the difference, so we're not confused of who a copywriter is and who a UX and not mix it together. All right. So UX writer versus copywriters. Focus on functionality and clarity. That's for UX writer. UX writer will focus on functionality and clarity. How the product works, how people get clarity, how they understand how to use the products or understanding of the product. Now, copywriters, they will focus on marketing and persuasion, encouraging people or hyping the product so that people are able to know, oh, wow, this in everywhere. If you remember Temu, when Temu was everywhere on our faces, some people that did that content, copywriters. Now, for UX writer, they work closely with the product team, while the copywriters work closely with the marketing team. The UX writer text, they text inside the box, that is, they write inside the box like buttons, alerts, while inside the products. While copywriters they are outside the product, right? Exactly. Yeah, thank you. So writing for clarity and usability. Let me see if there's any. Okay. Writing for clarity and usability. Let's do real world example. Bad copy versus good UX copy. For instance, you go on a website, you're browsing, and probably your internet went off or something went wrong. Then you now see something like something went wrong. Okay, what went wrong exactly? What happened? What exactly, like, you need to like tell the user what exactly happened. So the best UX copy for this will be that couldn't connect. Please check your internet. I don't know if you have seen copies like that. I've seen copies that had something went wrong, and I've also seen copies that couldn't connect. Please check your internet or different things. Or you see error 404 and tells you what error 404 is. All right. For instance, submit what? A better copy, for instance, if we want to sell, maybe you're working as a UX writer for a food company, it will be place order. When you say submit, what are we submitting? You need to be clear. Another thing, invalid input. So imagine that I want to enter my email address. After entering it, you now tell me invalid input. Okay, what did I miss? So there are some websites that will tell you that, okay, maybe you forgot to enter @, that is the symbol @. They'll tell you, oh, your email must include @. Or probably you can say, you can get errors like, this email already exists, or this email is not correct, check again, something like that. But you just saying invalid input. Okay, invalid, what will I do from there? How can I proceed from here? Your user is stuck. But if you're able to give clarity, clear instructions, clear content or copies, everybody will be fine. Because the truth is that as product designers or as UX writers, you don't know how many I've built product that over 1,000 of people are using, and I don't know them in person. So imagine I built a product and my user is now looking, okay, now that they say I should invalid input and it's stuck and wondering, okay, so what do I do next? So it's very important, either you want to be a product designer and be writing copies or UX writer, clear content is very important. Clarity, very, very, very important. For another one is no data or data. Okay, no data. What exactly is no data? Or what are you driving at? Then the user is now wondering, no data, no data, no data, no data. Your good copy should have been written as you haven't added any items yet, or you haven't filled this form, or not that you write, maybe someone is trying to fill a form and did not fill and click on submit or place order. And you now said no date. Okay. Then you tell the person, if you have seen website, they will highlight it in red, error, like red, and tell you, oh yeah, fill this places. You need to fill this compulsory, especially places that are compulsory or required. And it's even best that if you know that something is required or important, asterisk it, let people know that this is actually important. So they will not like skip it. All right. Okay, now let's go to the voice chat. We're going to be looking at some principles in writing your copy. The voice chart holds a set of decisions. Okay, so that I will not, let's not rush. So based on what we've talked about since morning, what has been like, what have you learned? We talked about UX writing. We talked about writing good copy, writing for clarity and usability. We talked about UX writer versus copywriter. So what's like your key learning? So I'm waiting 1 minute before we continue to the next stage of this conversation. So what have you learned? I'm waiting on the chat. Okay, so you will not just tell me what you learned, you will tell me what exactly. For instance, if you say you learned what's the difference between UX writing and copywriting? Okay, Fadiba says that a UX writer is the voice of the product, while a copywriter is the one that creates marketing and professional content for the product. Tosin says that a UX writer is the voice of the product, and copywriter are seen as friendly hype team. Thank you, hype men. Simon says that UX writing is for clarity, while copywriting is for marketing. Tenny says that Tenny is saying something else. UX writing and the voice of the product, while copywriters, okay, iPads. All right. So let's move to the next thing, which is the voice chat. Thank you, Elizabeth. Oh, I'm seeing like 2 different Elizabeths. Thank you very, David. David says it's important to be clear and precise as a UX writer. Must be very clear and understandable. Okay, the voice chat holds a set of decision-making rules and creative guidance to make the UX content align to the needs of the organization and of the users, right? The foundations of the voice chat are the product itself and organization's principle. This principle define what the experience is trying to be for the user. If organizations have not defined their principle, then you as a UX writer or a product designer is to interview them to understand those principles. You have to follow certain principles. You need to be guided by the product or the organization principles. All right. So let's do case study using the voice chat rules. So we have three principles using the voice chat. So we are using DSA Finance app as our case study. All right. So we have the playful principle, the efficient principle, and the accessibility principle. Now, under this, we have the concept that supports this principle. The concept that supports is it the playful principle, the efficient principle, or the accessibility principle. All right. There's the vocabularies, the word to use. There's the verbosity. There's the grammar, punctuations. There's the capitalization. So we are going to be taking one after the other. All right. Now let's start with the concept. The concept that that supports the principle. So for the concept are the ideas or topic that the organization wants to emphasize at any open opportunity. For instance, look at child deck. They wrote, "You don't chop, child." They want to emphasize, like, they want, like, okay, this, just know that this is a food app. You can order for food. They want to make emphasis on that at any given opportunity. All right. Even when they are not a part of the task at hand, they are the idea that reflect the role that the organization wants the experience to have in the person's life. Concepts also don't specify the words to use. They are just the ideas that should land regardless of slogan or campaigns. So let's say, for instance, our DSA Finance app, right? So what are the concepts that support this principle? The playful part. Something that is unpredictable, something that adds fun and is difficult to earn. And difficult tax to earn. That's for like the finance. You know, where our case study is the DSA Finance app, right? Now, for the concept that supports the principle one, they want something unpredictable, something that adds fun and is difficult tax to earn. Another thing is the efficient. That's the principle two. Efficient. They want to keep users on by saving money and investing in courses. The third one is accessibility, which is virtual account for every user. Now, the second thing is the vocabulary. These are principles that will guide you, right? Now, the vocabularies, where specific words can support or undermine a voice principle. Use the vocabulary rule to specify them. If there aren't specific words that help you learn the principle, you can omit that rule. The vocabulary rule does not replace a robust words list or terminology list. The vocabulary rule in the voice chat specifies only the words that are not so important to the experience that they help identify its personality. For instance, the vocabulary. So now for the playful part, the principle one, because it's playful does not mean that you now be using really or like very, like there are certain words, generic words. There are certain, because it's playful does not mean that you should not write anything. Your vocabulary must still be in check. All right. Now for the principle two, that is efficient, you need to use non-metaphoric descriptions. For accessibility, that's the principle three. You can use vocabularies like use fast, save time, save money. That's for accessibility, so they understand. All right. Now let's go to the verbosity. For street usability, the words inside an experience should get out of people with can you all see me? My laptop was loading. Verbosity. So the strict usability The what, insight, and experience should get out of people's way. The UX text isn't there to be savored or read for pleasure. But using words where many are expected can block a person. But using few words, for instance, where many are expected, can actually block a person from moving forward as thoroughly as using too many words where few are expected. You need to know when to use a lot of words. You need to know when to use few words, right? Now, for instance, your screen size also matters. The reading format also. For instance, you should know that people don't really like reading a lot. So imagine that you are designing a screen, then you now wrote like a lot of text where when you can actually summarize it, right? Screen size and reading format makes a difference too. People are more willing to read on a desktop computer or mobile device than on a TV screen. I don't know if you are if you are a witness to that. People prefer to actually pick their phone like this and be reading or than on TV. I can't imagine that Instagram is on TV, like, or I need to be reading text message on TV. It's not more accessible to me. So all those things you need to put in place. On TV, if you have to show something on TV, how will it look like? If you have to show something on a mobile device, how will it look like? Or on your desktop computer or website. So for the verbosity, for playful, if you want people to be sticked to what you are, look at child they wrote you don't child, very simple, very like few words, but you understand that okay, this is very simple. Now principle 2, which is efficient, is enough words without ambiguity, like using big grammar on top food that I want to order. Imagine I'm very hungry and I'm looking for a food app or website. Then I now started seeing English a lot. I'll be like, I'll just swipe, please, I just want to order. The third one, accessibility, enough accurate words. Accurate, let them be accurate. Don't go through the corner, be straight. All right. Now, the grammar. With grammar, you are choosing the sentence structure and other grammar that supports the product principle. You have an opportunity to define the right balance of usability and personality of the experience. Your grammar is very important. The kind of grammar you use. You cannot write something and I'm reading it and I'm confused and like, okay, so what am I supposed to do here? Or maybe somebody does not know what the particular product you've built, what is about, and you wrote grammar and someone is wondering, okay, or someone has to go and be copying and go and ask ChatGPT that what does this mean, or asking somebody, please can you help me read? Your grammar is very important. You choose your sentence structure. Then maybe you are mixing past tense with future tense, or present tense with future tense, or you're mixing words, phrases. Where you're supposed to use him, you use her. Where you're supposed to use different verb or this thing, you're using another thing, or pronouns. So the grammar part, right? For playful, use present and future tense. For efficient, prefer simple statement, very simple, very demure. And what's the last word that I used to say? Accessibility, use simple sentences or phrases. Can we not talk about WhatsApp message and all this, and let's concentrate? All these learnings are very important. Okay, so the punctuation and capitalization. As a starting point, the organization might choose to use an established style guide. The AP, the Modern Language Association, like there are a lot of things like that. There's AP style, whatever style they want to use in the organization. With that, the UX works with the style guide to work on punctuations and capitalizations. Now, for instance, for punctuations, you see serial commas, colon. Don't use No M. Don't use M. That's for playful. You don't use M because of it's playful. Then you start using some punctuations. For efficient, use period. Like, you know what period is? Period. That's on period. Whatever you want to write, that's on period. You can use comma, but no question mark. For accessibility, you can use semicolon, you can use dashes, and some other things. Right? For capitalization, use capitalization only for strong emphasis. Capital, capital letters. Some people will just use capital letter and it should now be on your face like this. But if you want to do something playful, use it only if you want to have like a strong emphasis. You want people to like, this is really strong. For the efficient part, use sentence case. While for accessibility, use title case for headings and for buttons. All these are under typography. All right. So now let's quickly do our solution before we go on break. So let's do like the DSA finance app. We're trying to do like an header or hero section, and we're also trying to do like onboarding for mobile. So let's say you understand the principles, the I'm coming. The principle 1, which is playful, the principle 2, which is efficient, the principle 3, which is accessible. Right? Now let's like solve the case study. So for hero section, if we were to build a hero, for instance, build a hero page of DSA finance app using the principle 1, which is the playful, we can say unlock the fun in finance. That is like fun, it's playful, and you want to wonder what is the fun. Like, the user can be intrigued and, oh wow, fun in finance. What is fun in finance? Then maybe the sub text could be discover a new way to manage your money with DSA finance app, tackle tax, earn rewards, and keep things exciting. Like, they're still leaving it like playful. Say goodbye to boring budget, hello to engaging financial adventures, start transforming your finance future today. That's quite like playful. Because it's playful does not mean you can't write nonsense. Right? Principle 2. Are you following? Let me know if you're following me. If you're following me, let me know you're following. Let me know if you're following. Are we following? Okay. Yeah. So efficient. If you are building an hero, maybe the hero session, that the way carry wise their hero session, that's like the first thing you see on the web landing page. You can see, if you want to do efficient, we'll see something like save and invest smarter. Now the subtext can be manage your money efficiently with DSA finance app, save money and invest courses, simple and clear tools to help you to keep you on track. Plan your financial future with confidence. It tells you. The third one is accessibility. Can say fast and accessible finance. All right. So you can see that every principle has its own kind of style. So if you want to use a playful context, let it be playful, but be very careful. Don't forget that every company has their goals. Every organization, they have what the purpose of building a particular product or the goals. So you might want to let it be in line with the copies you're going to write. Right? So now let's do for instance, onboarding screen. Onboarding screen is for mobile app, for instance. Most times always 3 screens like this. So immediately after the splash screen, maybe you download your app, your mobile app from either Google Store or Apple Store. After downloading, you see like a splash screen that just shows you the logo. Then the next thing, you now see like one screen that tells you one summary. Oh, this is fast and efficient. Or this can, you can buy, you can order for food, or you can do this. Then you see another screen that tells you another summary of what, with either icon or images, or what the product is about. Can give you like feature. It can be feature, like feature based, or whatever summary that the company wants you to see, or three major features. So those three screens before you either signing up, can either skip that process, the onboarding screens, or decide to actually read what they are saying to understand, like have a grasp of the mobile app. All right. So let's say for screen one, the onboarding screen of DSA Finance app, for instance, let's use the principal one for playful. So for the onboarding screen, maybe if we can use like a font tax image. Then we can name it like an header text. We could say unlock fun activities or tax. Then the text under it can now be tackle exciting tasks that make money management enjoyable and rewards along the way. Then we have like our action CTA. We can say start journey or start the journey, right? The efficient part will now say maybe you can see like an image that shows that depletes, like save money, that kind of thing. Then you can now see like a header text that now say type save smart. All right. Then a subtext under it can now be use DSA to keep more money in your pocket. Smart savings tool designed for you. Then you can say a button that can say start. Now for accessibility, you can have for the first screen, if you are building like a DSA finance app, right? And your first screen can be for the principle 3, which is accessibility part. You could have a virtual account image, something that on virtual account. Then you have your title, which is get your virtual account. Then a subtext can be that instantly access your virtual account fast, save time, and save money. So it tells you, oh, this is what this do. So this is what you can do. You can get your virtual account. You can instantly access your virtual account. It is fast, it saves time, and it saves money. Right? Now, the second onboarding screen, same for the DSA Finance app. Let's look at the playful part. Onboarding screen 2. Unpredictable challenges. For instance, you can use that image, something that is unpredictable, like an image that has, or an icon or illustration image, depending on what you want to use on your onboarding screen. Then the title can be embrace the unexpected. Then the subtext can be that every challenge is a new adventure. Keep things lively and unpredictable. Start journey. The efficient part will now be, for the second onboarding screen, will now be maybe an invest growth image, right? And probably the text will now be that invest in yourself. Now the subtext will now be access courses that helps you grow. Simple investment option for a brighter future. Now the playful part is just telling you that just embrace the unexpected, embrace it. That you just making it playful, that okay, yes, we know that investment is very, very, like, they are low risk, they are high risk and all that, but still just embrace it, right? While the efficient part is telling you that okay, invest in yourself, this is something you should do. Okay, access courses that actually help you grow, and they are also simple investment option for a brighter future. Start very simple. All right. Now the accessibility part will now say that you can use like an image or icon that shows or depicts word and finance image. Then for title, can be anytime, anywhere. Manage your finances from any location, convenient at your fingerprints. All right. So we have to go on break now. When we come back, we'll do our class activity. So everybody has to be involved in this. But you are dropping your answer on the chat. So let's go on break. Take your attendance, write your attendance. We'll be back shortly. Hello, welcome back. Okay, welcome back, everybody. How was the short break? How was it? Oh, I see someone using some examples. All right, so let's quickly do. Oh, somebody has even done. Okay, let's quickly do our assignment. So for number one, what's your just don't you don't need to repeat what has been written here. So the class activity is to rewrite the following examples into clear, user-friendly UX copy. Drop your answer in the chat. I'm going to put a timer. Um, so let me do a timer. Let's do 5 minutes. So, what's your own improved version of submit? Your own improved version of oops, something's wrong. Your own improved version of no data found. Your own improved version of click here. Your own improved version of form invalid. Oh, I know that. Okay, interesting. I'm reading somebody. Let's try again. No data found. Your own improved version. Your version. Some people are just writing. It's not only number one. Do everything once in one chat, in one comment. Write the answer for each in one comment, then submit it. Or yeah, we're on timer, so I'm using once it's 5 minutes. But continue the class. We have about 2 minutes to go. Place your order. Please check your. Okay, 2 minutes more. If you are not. Send. Can you check your connection? Don't worry, me, I've done my solution already. After we are done, I will show you my own improved version. Please don't just do one, do the 5. Okay, we have few seconds to go before I show you my own version. Continue something. All right. All right, thank you. Our time is up. Time is up. So let's my own solution. So for submit, send request, or sign up, be specific about the action the user is to take. Be very specific. Don't just say submit. What are they submitting? Be specific on the action, the call to action they are to do. So send request if they want to send something, or send a friend request on Facebook or whatever. Instead of you say submit, send request. If they have to sign up, tell them to sign up. Be specific, like I said. Oops, something went wrong. It could be we couldn't complete your request. Please try again. You can't just say something went wrong. Okay, what should now happen? What's the next step for the user is supposed to do? No data lost or found. Sorry, no data found. Improved version should be that we didn't find any result. Try adjusting your search, or try what's the word? Retrieve your search or something like that around that. Click here for what? Is either download your file or view full details, whatever thing you want them to do. Form invalid. Please correct the error in this form before submitting. So all those things are what very, very, very important. In summary, good UX writing removes guesswork. Always aim to guide, reassure, and explain, especially when something goes wrong. Good UX writing remove guesswork. People are not guessing, what does this mean? What is this person trying to say? Your UX writing should guide, reassure, and also explain. Reassure them, oh, something went wrong, please try again. Guide them, okay, what is the next thing to do? Explain to them what it means. For instance, imagine if you just write accept cookies. What am I accepting? What is the cookies that I'm accepting? What does cookie mean? All those things. So I will say again that good UX writing removes guesswork. Always aim to guide, to reassure, and explain, especially when something goes wrong. Think about what you would want. You would want a helpful friend to say if you were stalked. Tools for practicing UX writing. There's the Figma. That's where you place your text in UI when you've done your landing page. Now, and you're writing your content or your microcopy, you can use Figma to play around your text how you want it to look. Right? Another thing is Google Doc. Can use for writing and for collaborating. Write what you want to be on each page. Then Grammarly or Hemingway editor for clarity, to understand the grammar. So you know that you meant to go write the grammar that is making people have headache. ChatGPT is your friend as well. But don't make ChatGPT your what's the word? Like your first point. Have ideas too and allow ChatGPT to help you improve it. Then there's also microcopy inspiration, so you can get inspirations for microcopy that you can use depending on your products. They are linked on this screen. Recommended resources: UX Writing Hub, the free UX Writing course; Microcopy, the complete guide; Google UX writing guidelines. You can also want to check up that. All those things will help you. Then daily UX writing challenge. If you want to do, just like we used to do daily UX writing, UI design challenge, there's also daily UX writing. Then also the group you can join. I'm trying to look for it. I'm coming. So there's a group that is UX Writing Africa. You can check online. You can check on Instagram. UX Writers Africa. That's the name. So I think on Instagram is UXWA. So you can join the community if you want to build your career in UX writing. I saw someone that says that they want to go into UX writing. But you as a product designer as well, you need to build your UX writing skill. In case you are just the only person, you don't have a UX writer or even a copywriter or anybody, just you. So before we take our quiz, let's quickly take questions. Today, I'm so happy we have time for questions. So let's take questions in 5 minutes. Let's take questions. Let's drop our questions in 1 minute. Sorry. Before we go to the quiz part, the quiz shouldn't take us anything less than 10 minutes. So let's have questions. Do we have questions? I'm looking forward to your questions. Ask your questions. Don't be shy to ask questions. It's very, very important. I'm looking forward to your questions. No. You don't have to. So it's just like a style, for instance. Did I miss somebody? Okay. So somebody saying they don't understand what I mean by voice chats. So I would say that, okay, for instance, the way style guide is, I don't know if you know what style guide is. To a product designer, basically, to help them build product or do a particular design with a certain color, with a certain typography or font. So now I'll say that a voice chat is like a style guide that helps everyone on your product team know how your product talks to users. That when users sees it, they how users perceive what they read or how it sounds to users. I don't know if you understand. So see, a voice chat has a style guide that helps everyone in product team or your team know how your product actually talk to users. That is how it sounds to users. What's like the tone? What's like the tone they get when they read certain things? Do we understand that part? When they read certain things on the app or the website that she built for them, right? So think of it like this. If let's say that I am a product, for instance, how will I speak? Will I sound playful? Will I sound serious or professional? Whichever way. Do I want to sound playful? Do you want to sound serious, that this is a serious matter? Or do I want to sound professional, for instance, as a person? Now I'm teaching you on UX writing. How do you think I sound if I'm a product, right now? Do I sound serious? Do I sound like playful? Do I sound professional? So basically, it's how like you sound, how you make your product sound. So one of the things that a voice chat will help you to do is that it helps you stay consistent with your tone across string. So if you want to do the playful part, you want to do the efficient part, the accessibility part, whichever one, you have to stick to it. You want to be playful, yes. If you want to be efficient, yes. If you want to be accessible, or you want to be professional, you want to be like straightforward or serious face, you're not being playful, you have to, like, it helps you maintain that, right? Seeing somebody. Did we get that word about voice chats? Okay, let me see if I can. Uh, okay, let's use like a real life example. So let's say that you are designing like a fitness app, for instance. When someone um signs up, for instance, you want people to sign up, your tone can be actually cheerful instead of you just writing sign up and that's all. You can decide to be cheerful or playful about it or be exciting. You just like the tone of the, it's just like when you're talking to somebody, the tone, you can be harsh, or you can be playful and be laughing with the person, or you can be professional. Maybe if you're talking to your boss at work, you don't want to be playful, unlike when you're talking to your colleagues. So basically the voice chat is just like the tone. It just guides you on the tone to use to actually write. I hope we got that. Yes, right. So instead of you saying sign up, that's just, sign up is just casual. You could do welcome on board. Like when people read it, there's this excitement. Welcome on board, ready to crush your goals. It's just like on childhood when I saw you don't chow. Like I'm like, oh wow, like there's a tone, there's a vibe that it gives, right? Or maybe somebody actually enters the wrong password. You can decide to write. You can do, your tone can be calm or helpful, or you can decide to write that, or that kind of thing. So it's better at that point. You can't be harsh because you don't know the person that they are using, that is using the product. So something like somebody enters the wrong password, you could do like, this password doesn't look like, want to try again. So you are calm about it. You've told them that it doesn't look right, yeah, and um you are telling them, you do they want to try again? Not that you tell them this is incorrect and that's all. You just stop the incorrect. Okay, this is incorrect. So what would I do? I hope we got that. So when anytime you had like the opportunity to write about for a product, ask yourself, would, if this app could talk, what would it sound like? Because that's your voice chat in action actually. So if you want to write a copy as a UX writer, always ask yourself, what if this app could talk? What will it sound like? So the product tone is very, that's like the voice chat. I hope we got that. Yes, you can decide to be playful, you can decide to be efficient, accessible, you have to be consistent. Let me see how many questions. Let me see the next question. Sorry, reading. I'm trying to read the next question. Okay, someone is saying that please explain the use of, or the essence of the three principle: playful, efficient, and accessible. So, all right. Okay, so let's break it down. Like we're talking to, maybe you're talking to our some of us that has cousin or so. So let's say that we're talking to our little cousin. Yeah. So I want you to imagine your app is talking to, your app basically is a person talking to a user. So what kind of person would people enjoy talking to, for instance? So there's like there's where these three principles come in play: the playful, the efficient, and accessibility, right? Now the accessibility, that's, sorry, the playful part, which is make it friendly, make it fun. So what does this mean? It's like you're talking like a real human being, but you're not a boring robot. You're not static. You're making it fun for people. You're making it friendly. So most times the playful part or the playful principle actually allows people to connect more. Now, I'm not here to tell you that, okay, use playful part or use efficient principle or accessibility principle. But for the playful part, right, it allows people to connect with your app, right? It's kind of welcoming, like you feel at ease, or sometimes it's even playful. And one of the things I know about this playful principle is that it actually helps to like build and make the experience feel less stressful. So instead of saying something like, for instance, instead of you saying form submitted, you can say something like, boom, like something exciting, your form is in, or this is successful. Then use like a celebration icon or image, right? That's exciting. Like everybody, oh wow, this my form is submitted. Or instead of you saying try again, what is try again? You could use something playful and say, oops, can we opt, or can we give another shot? So being playful does not mean that you are being silly all the time. It just means that you're adding some personality to it. You're adding some playful and friendly parts to your writings or to your copies. Do we get that? Is that clear? So now for the efficient part, it's actually the efficient part actually helps people get stuff done. So what it means is that you have to, if you're using the efficient principle, you have to be clear, it has to be useful, and it has to be straight to the point. So you don't want users to start guessing. Now, this part, efficient part, right? The effective part, sorry, actually, you don't want users to actually guess. You want them to actually complete a task. For instance, maybe you want them to complete a task by ordering food. You want them to complete a task by booking a ride or by signing up. Now, instead of you saying submit, you can say that I've been making emphasis on submit. Instead of you saying submit, you could say for the effective part, you could say sign up or probably send a message, right? You need, at this point, if you're using the efficient principle, you need to make your action, the call to action, obvious. You don't say submit, or you don't say error 404. Okay, error 404. What's error 404? What's the meaning of error 404? You just say page not found. Try going back or visiting the home page. You tell the user that this page, oh, you cannot find it. What do you need to do? You need to go back, or you go back to the home page. So whichever. So always ask yourself, if you are using the effective principle, always ask yourself, can the user actually understand this the first time they read? When they read this for the first time, do they have clarity? Is it clear? Because we want our writings, we want users to actually understand what they want to do. So at this point, you need to ask yourself, if you can even use people around you and ask that, what do you understand from this copy that I just made? I hope we're catching, or we understand what I'm saying, right? Yes, it's like a guide. Yes, thank you. On how exactly. So for the accessible part, you make sure that everybody can understand. Look at, I've been using Child Deck. Child Deck wrote you don't chow for pidgin people, Chosijeon for Yoruba. Have you eaten for English? I don't know the Igbo, what's the Igbo, but I saw different copies for different languages. So for accessibility, it means that you are writing for everybody. You're writing for people that may have visual or cognitive or language challenges. So for instance, if for this accessible or accessibility principle, so for instance, if someone can't read, thank God that we're going to still do accessibility in design. We're going to teach you that as well. So for instance, the accessibility part, if someone can't read small text, understand your words, they will leave. If it's confusing, they will just, it's either they log out or they just delete the app, or they just archive the app somewhere. So accessibility actually makes your product inclusive. I'm using Child Deck again. Child Deck, I feel like Child Deck write-up is inclusive because it's accessible to different people. languages. Let's use it in the language part. Are we clear? Right? So for example, avoid using jargon words. Like words that are ambiguous. For instance, you want people to maybe verify their OTP. Then you're now using words like authenticate via OTP credential. Maybe someone that you just understand basic language has to copy that authenticate and go and do, okay, what's the meaning of authenticate? Or when you this part is when you want people to enter their OTP and verify it. You now say authenticate via OTP credential. Please, what does that mean? You as a designer, what does that mean? When somebody says that authenticate via OTP credential, please, what is that? What does, like, that's ambiguous. So if you're using accessibility principle, you need to you would, instead of you say authenticate by OTP credentials, enter the 6-digit code we send to your phone. Very simple. Does that word, please, is there harm in writing that enter the 6-digit code? Are you trying to prove that you know how to speak English, or you want your users to actually carry dictionary like this and be say, what does the authenticate mean? So imagine that an old person, maybe parents or people that are quite older, or probably they don't have maybe they just have basic education. You now tell them authenticate by OTP credential. What does that even mean? So it is very important for accessibility. I feel like accessibility is like one of the best. Like I said, I don't want to say use it, but make sure you can decide to actually bring. But I also feel that you can actually bring in these 3 principles. Yes, it's possible. When you need to be playful, be playful. When you need to be efficient for them to perform the action, yes, you can actually bring these 3 principles into your design, right? So use simple words and good construct between text and background. If your grandma or your 8-year-old cousin or your friend that has is it dyslexia, what they call it, can all understand it, you've won. If people that they have a memory loss, or they don't know how to, or your grandma can understand what you have written, see, just know that you have won as a UX writer or as a designer, right? Please don't stress people in this economy. All right, so in a nutshell, just know that playful, if you're using playful principle or you want to use the combine, playful makes the product feel good, so you can combine it. But know when to be playful, know when you want the user to perform their action, and know when accessibility is key in design. What in both design and in writing. So there's accessibility in writing, there's accessibility in design. So playful makes the product feel good. Effective makes it work well. Then accessibility makes it work for everyone. If you are the one that is writing something, what will you choose as a person? Would you choose everything, or you choose a particular one? I feel like I would enjoy everything. So that's it. Playful, effective, and accessibility. All right. Maybe later I can create like a template that or exercise that will help us practice using this principle. All right, maybe that document later, I don't know when exactly I will do it. So that document that we had in last class, maybe I'll just update it. I'll create a tab, update it, and put UX practice templates, UX writing practice template for you. All right, are we good with that answer? So let's quickly go to our dimension. Let's quickly go to our class. I intentionally wanted to take questions so that we all understand. So let's quickly go to our class. I say our class quiz. Are we ready for the class quiz? Did we understand everything that was taught today? If you decide to be a UX writer, please go and read more about it. Read more, exercise, practice. I'm waiting for everybody. I've seen like a lot of people. You that you're asking was real stressing and voice chats. Please go and rewatch this class. Are we ready? Then also your you selecting the principal also depends on the organization as well. What message the organization is trying to pass. You need to, that's why I said you have to be from the beginning, the ideation stage to the launch, so you understand what when you to apply this principle, what are the principles you want to apply. Why design? Do you want to apply everything? But accessibility is key. Except that your target audience is people that are grammarly, they don't need dictionary and all that thing, right? So I'm going to be starting now. Are we ready for this? Ready for this? For the first question, I want many people to join this time. Ding, ding. Okay, so let's let the class begin, or the quiz begin. We have a lot of people. I'm so excited. Everybody got the first. Oh, interesting. Everybody got the first. Everybody. Clap. People should clap. Celebrate yourselves. So that means I should be expecting 10 over 10 today. Really? This number 3 is very, very tricky, but it's still simple. People that chose welcome to Max Zone. What Max Zone? Ah, let me not say anything. I'm not gonna say anything. What does writing for usability mean in UX writing? It's the last one for me. It's so funny. How will you write that? Okay, so what should I do about that? So with the all the things that I taught you about writing a better error, some people still chose something. No wahala. Ha. People are avoiding clarity. Wow. Ha. I'm shook. Interesting. And the last one, what is the goal of UX writing form field? Where you write your first name, your last name, email address, depending on what the product you're using. Yeah, we have, wow, interesting. Thank you very much for everyone that participated, and to everyone, regardless of what you scored, thank you very much. So this is our take home. You can screenshot it. Take home, create UX microcopy for a login page, an empty shopping cart, a successful payment notification, an empty shopping cart, a successful payment notification. The deadline is 5th of June, 2025. That's next month. Your format, so just do like a screenshot. Thank you. Connect with me on YouTube, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, websites, whichever. So yeah, let me see if there's any. Let me go back to. So let me leave this. So do like a US copy, do it on a Word doc, a Google Doc. Let me see if I can answer one question before I go. Okay, so somebody was asking, how do we